Hello, world. It is time. That is what I was hearing in my spirit. It is time to do what I came here to do, fulfill my purpose. I waited a long time to do this, but it is time. So, I have taken the procedures necessary to put myself in a position um, of a sort of uncomfortability instead of being comfortable. Um, because that would make me stagnant and so I had to make myself in a position where I'm making myself move. I'm not trying to rush things or make things go too fast, but I'm just trying to do what feels right. So I guess I want to talk about a few things. This is going to be one of my longer videos. I want to talk about dreams, purpose, what we are, all sorts of things that come to mind. I'm a very in the present moment kind of person. The moment I'm thinking about the future, the past, it's like a loop of unwanted energy that I'm outputting. I don't want to be there. So, I want to talk about just so beautiful out right now. This present moment that is a gift. So we call it a present. This present moment's all that we have. And it's wonderful. There's so much beauty in it. As long as we nourish the present moment with goodness, it will always be. So I suppose I won't beat around the bush. There are people who want to hear what I have to say. I don't want to bore. So, I suppose let's get into it. I'm going to talk about a very profound dream. And if you've been following me, you've probably already heard about this dream, but I suppose with more insight on who I am and stuff like that, I can provide more to this sort of experience. So, I mean, one day, it was one random day, but it was around the time where I started paying very close attention and was intrigued and infatuated by dreams. Whether they were, it doesn't matter what kind of dreams I was having, I was very infatuated by it. And I was drawing the similarities and the differences between what we would classify as dreaming and as the waking reality we collectively agree to be. And so when this dream came about, uh, it was very, I wasn't anticipating anything. Some nights before I went to sleep, I would have intention of trying to lucid dream or trying to find that happy place, get those amazing dreams that propels you in a fantastic mindset for, I don't know, 12, 50 years, it doesn't matter, right? That dream. But this one occurred on a random night. I had just plopped down, got comfortable, was out very quickly. I didn't think even about dreaming at all. Like nothing was on my mind. And it's funny that in the most unpredictable time is when one of the most outworldly experiences will occur. It's when you're least expecting it. I guess that's why they say expect the unexpected. But yeah, so I was dreaming, and this dream was so vivid. I was downstairs in my house, and I had some dogs, and at the time I wasn't particularly loving of dogs at that particular time. I mean, I didn't despise or hate them, but I wasn't very loving of them. And this was the beginning of the dream. And I seen my little dog, incredibly vivid, and I decided to pet him 3 times on the head. Yes, I counted. It's like 3 times on the head. And when I did that, I instantly transported to another dimension of existence. Very, very incredibly sacred place. And I was there. We could talk about what I am later on in terms of what we really are. But I was there. And while I was there, I noticed that any type of negative, unwanted, what you would call bad feeling, such as anxiety, worry, fear, doubt, any of those feelings did not exist there, could not exist there. It was like I returned to the very source of God, the very source of that love. And that was not even the most profound instance. Anyways, this dimension, this place I went to, very magical. And I was there for some time, even though time, what is it, right? Doesn't necessarily exist. But I was there for some moments. And I was looking around, looking for Jesus. I was looking for Jesus. I'm not sure if I could speak or if I wanted to, but I was looking, right? And there was some physicality to this dimension. Take it how you want. meaning it appeared to be that I was in a room. Now, sometimes when you're in a room in this dimension, it doesn't necessarily feel all that pleasing. This room in this dimension was a playground. Like I said, there was no fear, no nothing. It was it was incredible. Anyways, I seen a shadow as I was looking for Jesus, but I'm kind of going ahead of the story. Let's backtrack a little bit. I was looking, and and I began to think to myself. I thought, how can somethingness come from nothingness? And my body instantly shot up. The moment I thought that, how can somethingness come from nothingness? And my body shot up. I guess what they would call that astral projection. I suppose that was my very first one, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I don't really have names. I just describe what is. And I shot up, and I was white light exploded out of my body. Just an infinite amount, I suppose, or a very, very, very large amount. Just shot outward from my body, and I was levitating, and I was just spinning, but I wasn't getting dizzy. So I shot up. I was like spinning. White light was coming outward of my body, my essence, my being. And it felt, there are no words that no earthly words can describe the feeling of that. No earthly feeling can amount to that. It was like a full body massage or whatever, to the power of like infinity or something. I'm telling you, my goodness, it was just amazing. And because I was infatuated with dreams, I was actually taking note while I was there. I mean, not literally like writing down, but I was definitely not just immersed in the moment, as to where I'm not picking up any detail, and that it would be a tragedy if I were to forget that. But I mean, that happened, and yeah, like it was just the most amazing feeling. And I was there for, I want to say I was, because I was counting as my body was up there. I was counting, and I counted for approximately 10 earthly seconds. Earthly, we have to go by our you know, what we classify time as, because in different dimensions time changes, right? 10 earthly seconds could equate differently to a different realm, if that makes sense. So my concept of 10 earthly seconds, things can happen a lot more quickly in another dimension or realm. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. So I mean, it was approximately 10 earthly seconds, but time was like, I don't know, moving more quickly, which means things can get done more in a small amount of time. Anyways, when I came back down from levitating, I was like, whoa, that was amazing. I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. And then I was just looking around the room again, and I was looking for Jesus. And then I seen the shadow. It wasn't before, it was after that happened. Then I seen the shadow behind some either bookshelf or some sort of cabinets, right? Like I said, there was some sort of physicality to this place still. And then I turned around and then I seen a woman whom I've never seen before. And this woman, she didn't necessarily look happy. She didn't have a smile on her face. But I mean, a woman was here before I was, I think. I don't know, maybe she came after I was there. I don't know. But anyways, when I looked at her face, there was no color. Like when you look at a person, you can tell you can see color. But her face is like when you look at a newspaper, and a black and white newspaper, it was like that. Like there was no color. And she didn't look happy, and that was what I noticed. I took note of, I started thinking who she was. I'm like, do I know this person? Because I turned around, and she was just right there. And I don't know, for the place I was in, I was expecting her to be happy, but she didn't look that way. And I had to start thinking. I'm like, why isn't she happy? And yeah, I didn't know who she was. It was like a black and white person. Not that way, but you know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, it's just a woman. And because I got startled a little bit, I woke up shortly after seeing her face, and I go, whoa. And then I took a picture of my face after having that dream. I can post it somewhere afterwards. Not like it matters, but when something like that happens, I like to take note of things. So I wanted to see how my face was, and when I took the picture, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Even now when I look at the picture, I'm like, I looked very ordinary. I mean, I looked happy. I took a picture and I looked happy, but looked very ordinary. I know, what was I going to expect, right? Anyways, yeah, I'll post that later. So that was one of my dreams that kind of made me go, whoa, what is happening? There was another one that was kind of, that I want to talk about, at least. That wasn't necessarily as amazing, but I'd like to tell you about it anyways. This was a couple years down the road after this dream. This one, which would you call it, a negative or bad dream? And I was in a room with some other guys, right? I don't know how old I was, but it's like some sort of like sleepover or whatever. I'm thinking to myself, I mean, it was going good at first. We were chilling and stuff like that, and then I just thought to myself, I'm like, I don't normally do this. This feels weird. And in the moment I thought that, um, I felt this like demonic evilness filling the room, filling everything. And something appeared before me, very dark figured something. And my body sort of seized up in a way. I guess you could describe it. You know what I mean? When you kind of get scared of a demonic force. And when it came about, I started laughing. Like, if that made sense. Like, of course that made sense. But I just started laughing because I don't know. I've been trained. I've been trained to not have fear. Fear is not of God. So when I started laughing, the demonic force or whatever started laughing too, in a weird way, almost matching my laughter. And I don't know, like it was a part of me. When I started laughing, it started laughing. When I started feeling a negative force building up inside of me, so that thing appeared. And shortly after laughing, I woke up. And when I woke up, I had like a smile on my face. And I had a few laughs too. I'm like, oh my goodness, what was going on? And so that brings me back to my quote, that there is only love and lessons. And in love, there are lessons. And in lessons, there is love. Yeah, so whatever situation you're in, apply that. It's only love and lessons. Another time, okay, I was just walking. This wasn't a dream. I was in what we call the waking reality. I was walking and I was just thinking to myself, like, I was thinking about ascension and descension and stuff like that. This was close to the 11:11 portal that we went through and stuff like that. And as I was thinking about ascension, I was like, yeah, this is humanity's purpose is to ascend. And then I'm like, there's no way for me to descend. And then as I thought that, I seen a seagull supernaturally on a descend. Now, when you see a bird normally come down from flying into the ground, the physics of the action is a more gradual, realistic thing. They're flapping their wings. Well, what I seen was the moment when I thought about descending, I seen the seagull just like just, you know what I mean? Just like that. In fact, there are so many things that I see with my eyes that I don't even talk about, but that happen, and I'm just like, whoa. That's why I tell people, your eyes, we use them, but don't let it use you. Hopefully that make sense. We use them. But understand, everything that you perceive is from God. Everything that you perceive, everything, whether visually or whatever type of way you're trying to perceive, it's from God. So there's more gifts that God has given us that we sometimes don't think about. And I find myself oftentimes emotional, very emotional, because people are not, according to my reality, my perception, people are not acknowledging all the good God is doing in their lives. They're totally dismissing it. Remember, according to me, according to my perception. So, and I was saying, the amount of good God does for us, I don't know how I can repay that. But I'll do my very best to do that. Whatever means necessary. By any means. The small things, the little things, everything. He is always providing for us. Always. That immense, unconditional love. I don't want to start crying right now, but there's so much. Just so much. And people sometimes take that for granted, you know? Yeah. But I'm not here just to talk about the good things. I would like to enlighten people on the importance of being righteous and good, and why it is absolutely detrimental to go against that. Remember, I have truth for what it is, as everybody does, right? Your truth is your truth. Here's mine. The reason why sinning is bad, and the reason why we shouldn't sin, is because it is detrimental to oneself, and inside you dwells God. Okay? When you sin, you are putting yourself and God in a place where you cannot prosper. It is detrimental to you. Now, I'm not saying this to instill fear. I'm not fear at all. And people want to say to explore your shadow side. I understand all that. I had a shadow side. I've explored it. I've seen it for what it is. I've seen how nasty I could be. And people want to tell me about the power I hold and what I can do. It's not about that. It is totally not about that. It's not even about what makes you strong or what makes you weak. It's about what makes you you. Like I said, I've seen my shadow side. I've seen him. It's not nice. If I don't like him, you guys won't like him. It's not about being liked either. But in this world that we all collectively live, it's probably a good idea to be good to yourself and other people. And when I say probably a good idea, I mean a very good idea. But again, this is just my truth. I'm not necessarily going to talk about what is sin. Perhaps another time if I'm called to do that. But sin is going against yourself. You sin, you're just doing detrimental stuff to yourself. The worst sins, right? If you can just use your mind, step into your mind for a sec. The worst sins that you do, I'm telling you right now, how do I say this? It is very personal to you and our Creator. It is very personal to you and our Creator. And then that brings us back to treat others how you want to be treated. It is very important. People may think that they get away with doing harm to another person. And trust me, I heard this saying, if there's a meaning or purpose in something, then there's a meaning and purpose in everything. Which means everything that you perceive is from God and has a meaning and purpose. They're only love and lessons. So, if you violate divine order, because of the gift of free will, life is very personal between you and our Creator. To where if you do that, you will put yourself in a place where it's hard to see God. The more you do that, you'll put yourself in a place where it's hard to see God. And enlightenment is the beginning of knowing how little you know. So, if you're not even enlightened, I encourage you to become enlightened. It's not hard. The purpose for this is it's beneficial to oneself. It's beneficial to you in your progress and ascension and your soul's purpose and journey. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm finally doing what I'm called to do. And it's a great feeling. All that weight is off. And I want nothing more than to help other people. That brings me the utmost joy. I love helping other people. Even all my enemies in my life, all the people that was doing nasty things in my life, that have done me wrong or whatever. There's not very many, but all of them. I love nothing more than to help them if they're struggling. All people. because I know what it's like. I'm a person. We're here to help each other. We're here for a reason. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of progress. And on my heart, I'm just thinking, this is time. It is time. That Whitney Houston song pops up all at once. Like, yeah, like, it's time. All at once. It's happening. We're here. And it's a great time. It's a time to rejoice. And I want to speak on those people saying to keep your mouth shut or whatever. This, that, the third. Because such and such will happen. Understand what is happening inside of that person. Understand what is happening inside of that person. That's fear talking. Don't let another person's fear become your fear. Fear is not of God. So, yeah, just do good. And I don't want to divert people's mental to be on me. I like the praise, but I always want people to think of God. I can help, but God is always the one you should seek. God. Through God will be the one to give you all that you need. I mean, he's already done that, but there's a secret. He gives us more when we seek him. And he dwells within you. Get that courage, get that faith. He wants nothing more than for you to seek him and get to know him. Build that relationship with him. That's very important. Build that relationship with him. When we're young, when we're kids, babies, he's there with us. As adults, when we get emotional, okay, he's there with us. He never leaves us. Through all our stages in life, he never leaves us because he loves us. He gives us so much joy. Yeah. So, seek God. And all that you do. Seek God in all that you do. And know that all you perceive is of God. And there's only love and lessons. And they're intertwined. Yeah, so this is going to be a big update. I didn't know how long it would be, but I figured people like hearing me speak, and I like sharing my mind, because I know that anything God gives me is not just for me. If I were to just keep my mouth shut, why? I know what my soul's here for is to help other people. And what other way can I do that than by speaking, teaching, helping, praising, directing? I'm going to walk with blind faith no matter where I go. Mm-hmm. And I know that everything's going to be all right because God is with us at all times. He's never going to leave us. So I am just confirming that I am seeing all the great stuff that you guys are posting. Yeah, if you're seeing this, most likely we've contacted each other. We're helping each other out. And we're all going to achieve what we're here to achieve. We're all going to do that. So please take care of yourself. Get that fear out of you. We got this. We're going to do it. It is time. We are here. And I'll do everything necessary to achieve this. But yeah, I'm seeing everything you guys are posting, all the efforts that you guys are doing. They give me strength. They really do. So I love sending back. And don't worry, there's more to come. More knowledge heading our way. More feeling gracious coming our way. And all great things. So I'm going to go home and probably read, meditate, connect with more souls. And yeah, just returning to balance and truth at this time. Yeah, keep it up, guys. Shalom, the Lord bless you. Chosen one. And one last thing. Stay true to yourself. All of you listening right now. Don't have a lying tongue. Like I mentioned before. Although you might find it beneficial at the time, remember, sin is detrimental to oneself. It is in your best interest to avoid that. So if you're not something, if you're doing something that you shouldn't, etc., you know, you're not going to get a leg up from sinning. You're not going to put yourself in a beneficial or better place from sinning. It's the opposite. But don't have fear. Just do what's right. That makes sense. And you'll know what's right and what's wrong. Tune in. It's all inside you. Tune in. Oh, Shata. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm watching you guys. I know you're watching me. You're not going crazy. Okay? Just let that truth inside you expel outwardly. Let that truth inside you expel outwardly. And great things will come. Get that courage. Have that faith. Close your eyes sometimes. That's what I like to do. I close my eyes and I move and I walk. I know it's scary. I have faith that my next steps are going to be good. Obviously, stay safe. That's a whole nother topic. Anyways, I'm trying to end this video. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Great things are coming your way. Shalom, the Lord bless you. God bless you. And stay tuned.